most in the PlayStation community don't really like my channel. Most of these ponies wish that this channel die. But let me just remind these ponies of this.
Even if you get mad, even if you get offended, so what you gonna do? Because I guarantee you can't beat me up.
That's just the plain old facts, you ponies. But you see, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm continuing to expose you ponies every chance I get. I am not going to lie to you like how this woman would have lied to this guy, even though the answer was obvious.
When it comes to 4-year-old Mackenzie, Chris, you are not.
Come on, ponies, open your eyes. The answer is obvious. You see, these ponies are crashing out all through the internet, man. These guys are crashing out. Look at Timmy. Look how Timmy is behaving here. Listen to him.
Does astroturfing occur on PlayStation? Nope. Do you see PlayStation podcasts getting to interview Jim Ryan or Herman Hulst? Do you see PlayStation guys getting flown out to events? Do you see PlayStation guys getting inside scoop and press releases? Do you see PlayStation guys getting the bad news so they can soften the blow? Do you see any of the PlayStation channels getting that? Do you see any of the Nintendo channels getting that? The only company who does this is Xbox.
So here we have Jimmy crashing out on one of his members in the chat, asking him, do PlayStation AstroTurf? Now, for those of you who don't know, this is the definition of AstroTurfing. AstroTurfing, organized activity that is intended to create a false impression of a widespread, spontaneously arising grassroots movement in support of or in opposition to something. So what Jimmy is basically saying here is that Xbox is the one who AstroTurf. They are the one who go on podcasts, spread their propaganda. That's basically what he's saying, right? The main reason that Microsoft has all these executives talking to podcasters and so forth is because they are very much transparent. They, Microsoft makes themselves available to their fans. They talk to their fans. I mean, how could we criticize a company if they are, in the community talking and letting, the fans know what they are doing? So don't blame Microsoft for being transparent and, talking with their fans. Sony don't do that. So Sony don't see the need to do that. Like the arrogant company that they are. In addition to that, quite frankly, Sony don't care about the PlayStation YouTubers. Sony don't care about the guys fighting for them on Twitter. They simply don't care.
Tell me there's no astroturfing going on when they're the only company doing it.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Come on, Jimmy. Sony don't need to AstroTurf when they are money-hatting games. They have invested their money in other things. They have invested their money in trying to block and prevent third-party games from coming onto Xbox. That is where it is they spend their money, in money-hatting. They don't have enough money to AstroTurf, Timmy.
They've literally given people careers.
And there's where I would agree with you, Timmy. You see, your channel would be nothing without Xbox. Without you bringing bad Xbox news to your audience, your channel would be nothing. It's very clear that your Xbox hate videos do better than any other video that you put on that Reforge Gaming channel. I mean, your coffee, you should rename that coffee Xbox Hate. That is how you will get that coffee to sell, Reforge. Rename that coffee you have Hating Xbox, and you will see those coffee fly off the shelf, you pony.
What do you think about when a multi-platform game gets an exclusivity deal to get excluded for Xbox? I would need to know the game that you're talking about. In a very 30,000-foot general way, I think developers enter those agreements because they like it and it benefits them. And so the whole notion that it's anti-consumer and that it shouldn't happen, I think developers have a lot more a lot of more decision making about this type of thing. It's not that simplistic. The villainization of exclusives and the blanket claims that you make more money if something's multi-plat, or that, you know, it's anti-consumer. Developers enter into these agreements for a reason. I think it helps them.
Come on, Timmy, your bias is showing. Did Luminous Studios, the makers of Forspoken, did they benefit from the exclusivity deal with Sony? The answer is no. That deal crippled and eventually killed that studio. Let me ask you this, Timmy. Did Firewalk, the studios that made Concord, when they came into a deal with Sony where Sony bought them, did they benefit? The answer is no. Concord went on to be one of the worst games generation, closing the studio. So although you are trying to defend Sony, that Sony is this innocent company and does no wrong, it's very clear that Sony would have made some exclusivity deals with studios that turned out to be very bad for those third-party studios. That's just what the facts say. Today, however, guys, we are going to look at how some ponies are rejoicing that finally they have one game that is really justifying their purchase of the PlayStation 5 Pro. We will examine what are they talking about and see how all of it is cap. So you know what? Let's get it!
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. So we are on the road to 4,000 subscribers, guys. So hit that like and subscribe button if this type of content interests you. Of course, we give you the Xbox news, we give you Xbox content, and of course we specialize in the Sony Pony Salt. We get ours from the Himalayan mountains. So if this type of content interests you, please consider subscribing. Now let's get back to the video. Since the PlayStation 5 Pro was released, the PlayStation community has been overhyping the PlayStation 5 Pro. Some were saying that this is one of the most powerful devices on earth, even more powerful than some of the strongest PCs. This is what the ponies were saying and preaching about the PlayStation 5 Pro. I mean, some guys went on to say some erroneous things about the PlayStation 5 Pro.
That this thing was going to cost $700, and we told you and told you and told you. And instead of you all just saving your money like we told you, you were like, I'll never do it. And guess what? This thing's more powerful than a 4090. It is. A friend of mine, he called me. He has a 4090. He was like, look, I struggle with this. You know, he said he's struggling with it because he's seen that this thing do things that the 4090 can't do.
I told you guys that this was a sickness. I told you guys that. So yes, Ponies was saying that the PlayStation 5 Pro was the most powerful device on the planet. Well, since then, we would have heard what Digital Foundry would have said about the PlayStation 5 Pro, and it's very clear.
Say, depending upon what you want to do with the PlayStation 5 Pro, maybe you don't need to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. If you want to get 60 FPS in every game, don't get a PS5 Pro. I don't think that's what it's supposed to do.
Fundamentally, the upgrades, to us they're big enough, but I feel like the average consumer maybe just isn't going to appreciate or care about that stuff. And in some cases, the differences are so small that you really have to like capture the footage, take it into Premiere, and it's hard to appreciate, like, is this actually that much better? Is it even really better at all? And sometimes it's actually worse, thanks to PSSR having some issues, right?
So Digital Foundry was clear that the normal or the average gamer will not see the difference between the PlayStation 5 Pro or the PlayStation 5 or even the Xbox Series X. Persons who have the components to really see those minimal upgrades are the ones who will be interested in the PlayStation 5. So that is what they said very clear. But the ponies are saying, no, Digital Foundry, PlayStation 5 Pro has one game that is destroying this narrative. Look at what they are saying here. Ponies all over the internet is saying that here what? Their $800 console is running Assassin's Creed Shadows wonderfully. In addition to that, they are saying, wow, it's beating back everything, and this justifies why it is I bought this $800 console. It was because of Assassin's Creed. And you know, they really are trying to convince themselves that this is the main reason as to why it is they bought the PlayStation 5 Pro. But even if Assassin's Creed does run better on the PlayStation 5 Pro, I mean, that should be a given, because I would not buy a Lamborghini to run or to move as fast as a Toyota Prius. Come on, the Lamborghini must, I paid more for it, it must run faster. That is just common sense. But these ponies are here saying here what the differences are so significant because of what Digital Foundry said. Listen to what they said.
Shadows has one of the largest Pro upgrades we've seen so far. The key mode here is the performance mode, and the big boost comes down to RTGI. The PS5 Pro gets a lavish pass of per-pixel RTGI, bouncing light through each space to capture a realistic indirect diffuse lighting response. In a lot of scenes, the game is totally transformed. Just look at how accurately shaded the barrels are here, how pockets of shade bloom towards the base of the bamboo stalks.
So yes, Digital Foundry basically said here what? On the PlayStation 5 Pro, Assassin's Creed Shadows is unlike any other game. It's like a different game. I mean, it looks so different. It's like night and day when it comes to the base console. This is what Digital Foundry is saying, and this is what the ponies are running with. They are saying here what? Assassin's Creed on the PlayStation 5 Pro is unlike any other version. It is night and day. I mean, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X looks like a Super Nintendo version compared to the PlayStation 5 Pro. Well, let's just see what our eyes are seeing when a different analyst would have used the PlayStation 5. And let's see if it's a significant difference. Let's see if you ponies' eyes are lying. Now, this analyst and this breakdown comes from this YouTube channel, El Analista Debits. Now, they do some great work when it comes to analyzing, different games. Now, as you watch this screen, I want you to be honest, ponies. Are you seeing a significant difference when it comes to the PlayStation 5 version, the PlayStation 5 Pro version, and the rest of versions? Look at every other version you're seeing here. Is this a significant? Even look at the S and see if the PlayStation 5 Pro is displaying such a monumental leap over these other versions that this is what warrants buying an $800 platform or $800 console. I mean, look at it. They are going through the PlayStation 5 version Pro, and they are going through PlayStation 5 the Series S, and I am trying to see what is the significant difference. Is it the shadows? Is it that the shadow is more pronounced? Is it that you love seeing these shadows? It's so pronounced that, I mean, come on. I would love for someone to point out the major difference that changed this game for a PlayStation 5 Pro player compared to any other player. What experience is the PlayStation 5 Pro crowd getting that I can't even get from the Series S? I ain't even going to say the Series X. As he goes through the comparison, I'm looking, where is the major difference? Where is the jump? Where is the mind-blowing, face-melting, blood-boiling difference of the PlayStation 5 Pro? Now, if it is you're seeing some slight differences when it comes to textures, lighting, and so forth, okay, I'll give you that. But when it comes to, I have to really look hard to even see that. So when it is these guys are coming and saying, wow, it's a massive difference. I mean, this looks like Assassin's Creed Daylight, not Assassin's Creed Shadows. Come on, look at this. Where is the massive? Come on. Don't believe your lying eyes, ponies. This ain't no significant big difference. The PlayStation 5 Pro is not giving you a world-changing difference when it comes to this Assassin's Creed. Let's be honest, let's be fair. So let me hear what you thought about the video today. Is it that these ponies' eyes are lying? Or is it that, wow, the Assassin's Creed Shadows on the PlayStation 5 Pro is unlike any other version? I mean, this is a leap. This is twice the leap of what the other consoles have. Let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.